How to discover your money-making talent in just 10 minutes and become a millionaire. Why you should watch this video. Every day. Every day, a huge number of people bury their talents, trying to make money doing things they have absolutely no natural ability for. And it's a dead-end road. Today, I'll give you a step-by-step plan to avoid that mistake and to learn how to truly make money. The biggest problem most people have is that they don't focus on their natural strengths, their real talents. I often say, the size of your profit margin, or how much you can charge for your services, directly depends on how well you've unlocked your uniqueness. The more you discover and develop your uniqueness, the more you can charge for what you do. The two main problems people face are, they don't know how to focus. Even when they do focus, they often focus on the wrong thing, chasing whatever seems profitable instead of building on their natural talents. Because of this, their talent is in one corner, and their attempts to make money are in another. And that's why it doesn't work. Whenever students come to me, the very first thing I look at is, what are they naturally good at? I guide them to focus exclusively on their strengths, following the principle, strengthen what is already strong. Now you might wonder, how do I discover what I'm naturally good at? How do I find my true talent? Every single person is talented. There is no such thing as a person without talent. The Creator has given every person a unique set of abilities, a purpose, and a temperament designed to help them unlock their full potential. In Islam, it's even taught that on the Day of Judgment, people will answer not only for their actions and their bodies, but also for the talents and abilities they were given, whether they developed and used them or not. So finding and using your talent isn't just about making money, it's about living a truly fulfilling and meaningful life. Now, how can you discover your talent? Here's a step-by-step plan I developed after reading countless books, studying the Japanese concept of ikigai, and applying my own experience. Step 1. Make 3 honest lists while sitting alone, one-on-one with yourself. First list. What do you want to have? Second list. Who do you want to become? Third list. What do you want to do? Once you've written these 3 lists, set aside the first 2. Why? Because having and becoming are simply byproducts of doing. You achieve them by focusing on what you love to do. Now take your third list, what you want to do, and check. Are you good at it? To find out, create 3 more lists. First, ask your close friends what they think you're naturally good at and list their answers. Second, write down what you personally believe you're good at. Third, gather artifacts, awards, certificates, diplomas, medals, and list what you were recognized for. When you combine these 3 lists, you'll see patterns. What appears across all 3 lists, that's where your natural talent lies. But since we're talking about making money, you also need to understand, from the things you love doing and are good at, what does the world actually need? Some people love snowboarding, and they're pretty good at it. But here's the thing. Is that really something people need? Can you actually make money just by snowboarding yourself? The answer is no. What people actually need is not to watch you snowboard. They need you to teach them how to snowboard just like you do. So from what you love doing and what you're good at, you build a third list. What people actually need. Now you have 3 major lists to work with. Next step. Write down what you constantly think about whenever you have free time. Also, write a list of areas where you consistently seek to improve yourself and learn. By combining all these lists, you'll clearly see what you are truly talented at, what your strengths are, and what skills and temperament you were given for a reason. And by connecting that with what people actually need, you'll figure out what they would be willing to pay you for. Now you can confidently define your talent. You might even discover 2 or 3 talents, not just one. Once you've identified them, you can move to the next step, building a plan to start making money from them. Here's how. Every idea you have for making money should first be treated as a hypothesis. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is treating every idea like a guaranteed success. They say things like, "I'm going to build a factory," or "I'm opening a bakery," or "I'm launching a restaurant." Hold on. Who said it's guaranteed to work? Just because some restaurants are doing well doesn't mean yours will. Every situation is unique. That's why you must treat every idea as a hypothesis. This way, you give yourself permission to be wrong, because no one is immune to mistakes. And by doing so, you minimize the consequences of your mistakes. If you get too attached to your idea, your ego gets involved. You'll keep pouring time and money into a failing project just because you don't want to admit you were wrong. You end up dragging a suitcase with a broken handle, too painful to carry, but too painful to throw away. In business, you can't afford that. If you call every new venture a hypothesis, you'll be much more flexible. If it works, great. If it doesn't, move on without ego, without emotional baggage. Now, let's say your hypothesis proves right, and your numbers confirm you're on the right track. In that case, all you have to do is double down. Focus more energy on your strengths, on what brings you the most income. And that's how you become successful and wealthy. Now, a very important point. There are 2 types of people. One type is the entrepreneur, who, by the age of 40, has already tried 7 different businesses, failed, pivoted, relaunched again and again. The other type is the person who, by 40, has worked 25 years at their small family-owned shoe workshop, happy and content. Which one of them is right? Which one is wrong? The truth is, both paths are correct, if they lead to happiness. Because at the end of the day, the ultimate measure of success is happiness. It's not the size of your business or your bank account. It's whether you genuinely feel happy living your life. And every single person on this planet, 100% of us, ultimately wants the same thing: to be happy. There are plenty of rich people out there, but not all of them are truly happy. However, I've never met a genuinely happy person who thought of themselves as unsuccessful. Now, when someone keeps jumping between businesses, trying out different industries, constantly searching, it just means they're still on their journey. They haven't found their true happiness yet. Because when a person finally finds what makes them truly happy, they find peace. And real happiness always comes with a sense of calm and focused energy. Once they discover their thing, they'll naturally zero in on it, ready to dedicate their whole life to it without hesitation. On the other hand, there are people who stick to their small business for decades. Maybe the business doesn't even grow much, but that's not the point. They're happy. They don't need to chase anything bigger. They live fully in the moment, enjoying life. Now, if such a person sees some flashy ad telling them to drop everything and become a blogger or start trading stocks, it would actually be a huge mistake for them. Because when you're already happy doing what you love, there's no real need for scaling up or pivoting into something else. One of the core ingredients of true happiness is doing what you love. Without that, you'll never really feel fulfilled. And, by the way, I talk about this in my new book, Mission Possible: The Technology of a Happy Life, available in bookstores now. When you're truly passionate about what you do, the question isn't, should I keep going? The real challenge becomes, how do I even stop? I've never met someone who's genuinely obsessed with their craft, who didn't naturally want to grow and expand. For them, scaling and success happen automatically because they just love the work itself. But when someone has to think about whether to scale or how to grow, it usually means they don't fully love what they're doing. They're trying to push it forward through tactics and strategies rather than passion. If you're truly happy and you genuinely love what you do, you'll naturally do it with heart and quality. And when you work with heart, clients will come, word will spread, and growth will follow. I'm sure many of you are already doing what you love. Drop a comment and share what it feels like. Let others read about the real joy of working on something you're passionate about. Also, let us know, do you even think about scaling? Or are you so into your work that growth just happens on its own?